A very good evening. Many thanks for staying with us here on TV47 tonight. These are some of the stories making headlines on TV47 Spotlight. Revenue divide. Senate's 9th attempt. Senate sits tomorrow for the 9th time to resolve the revenue sharing standoff amidst claims of intimidation and threats. Will Senate resolve the standoff?
Let me tell you, if there's anybody who wants this business concluded, it's myself.
Cabinet recess. Cabinet secretaries start their 11 days recess tomorrow. Cabinet committees and technical committees will not have scheduled engagements unless otherwise directed by the president. Also tonight, motherhood in the streets amidst COVID-19. We tell the stories of mothers in the streets amidst the COVID-19 pandemic.
Imekuwa ngumu by the way. Juu kutoka COVID yangu ndio mama wamejaa kwa street. Wengi na watu wadogo.
And Sunday schools resume. Sunday schools resume, but Sunday school teachers say it's becoming hard to contain the children.
Angalia tu watoto ni wale tu watoto wa kusahau, unakaa unapata ametoa yote, lazima umwambie kwanza arudishe.
A very warm welcome on TV47 Spotlight. My name is Mombi Chege. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Faith Cheptile. And we begin with the COVID numbers. Kenya has reported 271 new COVID-19 cases, bringing the total number of infections to 30,120. This is out of 3,746 people whose samples were tested in the last 24 hours. Cumulative samples tested so far now stand at 391,416. The Health Ministry says the youngest among the new infections is an 8-month infant, while the oldest is 86 years old. 686 have been discharged from various health facilities across the country, bringing the total number of recoveries to 16,656. And on the proposed revenue formula, Senate will sit tomorrow for the 9th time to unlock the ongoing revenue sharing standoff. However, there is still fears of another adjournment, with Majority Whip Irungu Kangata accusing a section of Rift Valley senators of what he terms as sabotaging the government's driven formula.
I have ordered that we reconvene on Thursday.
Monday's sitting will be the 9th time Senate will be sitting to debate the ongoing revenue sharing formula. The sitting coming amidst claims of intimidations and threats from a section of senators. Majority Whip Irungu Kangata is however accusing Rift Valley senators of sabotaging government-backed formula. Kangata says that Mount Kenya counties have been sabotaged by the Rift Valley senators. Kangata says there is a hidden hand in the current standoff outside the House. LGO Marakwet Kipchumba Murkomen, however, says that some senators have been threatened. Murkomen is among the senators who are opposed to the third generation formula. The government is keen on having the formula standoff resolved once and for all. And as Senate sits on Monday, there is a likelihood of yet another adjournment due to fears that the government side will lose the vote. Amendments proposed by Meru Senator Mithika Linturi and nominated Senator Petronila Were will feature largely in Monday's sitting. If formula proposed by Linturi sells through, Mandera is likely to lose more than 244 million Kenya shillings, while counties of Kwale, Wajir, Marsabit, Kilifi and Mombasa will lose between 177 million and 135 million Kenya shillings. Other counties that are likely to be affected by the proposals are Narok, Makueni, Nyamira, Tana River and Vihiga. The compromise formula proposes that at least 270 billion shillings to be shared using the second generation formula, while the 46.5 billion Kenya shillings will use the disputed third generation formula. Senate Speaker Ken Lusaka says he is optimistic of a solution on Monday.
Let me tell you, if there's anybody who wants this business concluded, It's myself. Remember, we are even on recess, and our recess has even been interfered with.
The sitting is set to kick off at 10 a.m. Monday.
Meanwhile, the governors are pushing for more money to the counties ahead of tomorrow's sitting. Council of Governors Chair Wycliffe Oparanya has called senators to adopt nominated Senator Petronila Were's proposals, pushing for an increase in the allocation to counties from the current 316 billion to at least 348 billion shillings.
I want, on behalf of my colleagues, although we have not had a council meeting, to support, because any money, more money going to counties, that proposal should be supported. So I'm hopeful that as counties meet, as the Senate meets tomorrow, I'm told the Senate is convening tomorrow, I plead with them that it is their responsibility to pass CARA on time and make sure that the formula proposed is passed with the amendment put in by Petronila Were that will ensure that we get 348 instead of 316.
And on to 2022 politics, COTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli today hosted former Gatanga lawmaker Peter Kenneth for the second time alongside other political leaders backing the handshake. Baringo Senator Gideon Moi was also present in what appears to be crafting a 2022 card. Others who were present include Jubilee Vice Chair David Murathe, Senate Minority Leader James Orengo, National Assembly Minority Whip Junet Mohammed, National Assembly Deputy Majority Whip Maoko Maore, and Tiati MP William Kamket. This comes just a few days after Atwoli and Murathe endorsed Raila's 2022 candidature. And the Jubilee Party is in the process of picking a candidate for the Deputy Governor's position in Nairobi in what is seen as streamlining the county's leadership. Jubilee Secretary General Raphael Tuju says just as the party brokered the earlier pact, the party is in the pipeline to fill the position. Mwangi Maina now reports.
I, Benson Mutora Kangara, having been elected the Speaker of the County Assembly of Nairobi City, do swear in the name of the Almighty God, that I shall.
Just a day after Ben Mutora Kangara was sworn in as a new Nairobi County Assembly Speaker, following the resignation of former Speaker Beatrice Elachi, claims arrive that the Jubilee Party is gearing up to nominate a deputy governor 2 years after Polycarp Igathe ditched Sonko. The ruling party says it brokered the Sonko-Igathe pact and will therefore install Sonko's next deputy.
It is only the governor who can nominate a deputy governor within 14 days from the date when the position is falls vacant. So the party, much as it may have sponsored the governor, has no mandate to do that. However, as many things are determined by the party, and hence it may not be impossible for the party to do that, because all they need to do is tell the governor, write to the assembly, and nominate this person.
Sonko had appointed Ann Kananu Mwenda as a deputy governor early this year, a move that was highly criticized by the Director of Public Prosecution, forcing the courts to bar the county assembly from vetting the candidate despite clearance from the IEBC and the county speaker. The recent election of Mutura and the said forced resignation of Elachi have been termed as preparing a way for total fumigation of the county's leadership. This coming in the wake of calls to dissolve the county with a section of MCAs accusing State House of interfering with the City Hall operations.
The national government would wish to implement its policies they are first of all conceived at the capital city. If, for instance, Nairobi city has issues, then they trickle down. So for any government to correctly dispense with its policies, its agenda for any country, it starts with the capital city. Because that's where the people from the upcountry counties always look up to Nairobi.
Ndegwa says the Nairobi Metropolitan Services is there to stay, and it might prove a difficult task to revert the functions transferred to the national government back to the county government. As such, he says it is time for the dissolution of Nairobi as a county, as it is better managed by the national government. Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko has already promised to withdraw all the cases he has filed against the NMS boss Mohamed Badi and promised to work together.
Mambo yote mabaya nimeongea kwa ndugu yangu Badi, nimemwambia pole. Sasa tuende mbele, tunafanya kazi. Hii mambo yetu wanasiasa walikuwa wanaingilia katikati ya sambaya, watu wakaenda kwa Badi kumwambia mimi ni mbaya, kuja kwangu kuniambia Badi ni mbaya, lakini haja yetu hizi ni maendeleo. Kwa hivyo Nairobi waendelee na kupata maendeleo.
Nairobi being at the center of our operations as a country cannot be entrusted to this kind of petty politics that we've seen over the years. Why? I say this because every country has its own special requirements, special needs. Kenya has had its share of misreportings and misdeeds and misconduct by our leaders. When that happens at the heartbeat of our country, the capital city, then it does not sell well.
As it stands, it is only a matter of wait and see on which way Nairobi.
Should BBI come to be, should it see the light of the day, there could be a possibility of Nairobi being excluded as one of the 47 counties. We may have Nairobi put under national government.
Mwangi Maina, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you for that report, Mwangi Maina. Now, Cabinet Secretaries, Principal Secretaries, and Chief Administrative Secretaries will commence their 11-day recess tomorrow. This is a statement by the head of public recess. Cabinet committees and technical committees will not have any scheduled engagements unless directed by President Kenyatta for urgent matters, cases of national emergency, or any other exceptional circumstances. In a statement released on Sunday by Head of Public Service Joseph Kinyua, the introduction of recess is meant to give the Cabinet a break from the heavy demands of state office placed on members of the Cabinet Committee and Technical Committee. Kinyua further states that the introduction of the Cabinet working recess recognizes the busy schedule of Cabinet and the heavy demands of state office placed on members of Cabinet and their colleagues across the senior ranks of the executive. Kinyua further states that working recess seeks to give members of Cabinet a scheduled break from weekly Cabinet Committee meetings, as well as time to conduct working tours, site visits, and field engagements with members of the public regarding ongoing state programs and projects. During the working recess, Cabinet committees and technical committees will not have scheduled engagements unless otherwise directed by His Excellency the President for urgent business, cases of national emergency, or any other exceptional circumstances. And members of Cabinet shall be allowed to take leave from office subject to prior approval of the President. The recess comes amid speculations of looming Cabinet reshuffle in keeping with the handshake and President Uhuru's newfound alliances in Wiper Party, CCM, and KANU. Now, police in Bungoma have launched a manhunt for 11 remandees who escaped from Bungoma Central Police Station. The suspects are said to have escaped at around 3 a.m. this morning. Police are now calling on the locals to help trace the suspects who might have escaped semi-naked. Mike Kagwongo reports from Bungoma.
The 11 are said to have cut a metal bar and used it to dig a hole in the wall.
They used a metal bar, which they cut from the frame of the inner door in the cells, and they drilled the wall, the rear wall.
Bungoma South OCPD Wilson Nanga said one of them was shot on the thigh as he tried to escape and was apprehended before being taken to Bungoma Referral Hospital.
Officers from the station swung into action and managed to arrest one at the airstrip. They cornered him, shot him on the leg, at the thigh, and managed to arrest him. He has been taken to Bungoma Referral Hospital, being guarded while being treated.
Among those who escaped were Brian Ochieng Onyango and John Wanyonyi, who had been charged with robbery with violence. The two are the main suspects in the murder of prominent businessman in Bungoma, Michael Gasheru. Others who managed to escape have been identified as Klassen Otieno, Simon Wekesa, Collins Inyukuri, Alex Muyeho, Pascal Namasaka, Emmanuel Wakoko, Bramwell Baraza, Isaac Wekesa, and John Wekesa. The 11 are facing various charges. Nanga claimed the suspects were seen running into the nearby bush. The police boss has also warned the locals against hosting any fugitive, as the manhunt is underway.
To tell the public to assist to arrest the remaining 10 prisoners. A number of them are charged with serious offenses like robbery and defilement. At least 4 of them are charged with serious offenses.
Bungoma has a very high rate of burglaries and break-in robberies. According to the latest data by Crime Search, 48% of the crimes in the county are burglaries and break-ins. Reporting for TV47 from Bungoma County, I'm Mike Kaguongo.
Thank you, Mike, for that report. Many thanks for staying with us here on TV47 Spotlight. Let's take a short break. We'll be back with much more in just a moment. Welcome back to TV47 Spotlight. And in our special report tonight, motherhood is both a blessing and an honor to any woman. A journey that should be filled with smiles. But what happens when life turns upside down and street life seems to be the solution? Nanok Loren made it to the streets of Nairobi to understand how mothers living in the streets cope up, especially in the middle of a pandemic.
I'm just in time to catch these families waking up to a new day to head over to Jivanji Gardens. They begin picking up what they own: cartons, sheets, bags filled with clothes and food leftovers from last night. Here they seem to sink deep into their cloud of thoughts, envisioning how lucky they may be today as others light small fires to grasp some warmth. And not only do children break their night fast by drinking water, but also younger ones at least manage a diaper change to kickstart their day. No sooner did COVID-19 strike the country than Ruth Wamboi, not her real name, landed in the streets with her child after she was kicked out of her house in Dandora owing to rent arrears.
Tunakaa Dandora, nyumba ilifungwa. Sasa unaona sai corona ilianza, mtu sai ana kazi, hakuna venye unaweza kufulia mtu kwake. Kabla ukimbize watu unaweza kukutobokea. Inakuwa kuna mwingine anakutukana, kuna mwingine anakuongelesha vibaya kwa mbele ufanye kazi. Naona ile inakuwa ngumu hivyo sana.
She says since the genesis of street life during the pandemic, life has not been easy, right from begging by the roadside to the cold and rainy nights.
Kenye inatukula sana ni baridi. Juu kuna tunalalia box. Unapata saa zingine kama jana saa kulikuwa kunanyesha. Sasa hizo manyunyu penye tunalala unaona zinafika. Tunalala chini ya building ya mtu, unapata hizo manyunyu zinafika hapo. Huku kuoga bado ni pesa. Kufua nguo bado ni pesa.
A cup of tea will do in the morning as they wait for sympathetic passers-by to leave something behind. This young girl, who is a stone throw away from her mother, tries her luck in begging across the street, hoping that she will return with her pockets full. And that is the order of the day. Rebecca Wanjiro, a mother of 4, found herself in the streets after the death of her father, who was the breadwinner of the family back in 2006. And later on, after giving birth to her 4 children, she decided to reside in the streets.
Uko kwenye nilitoa pesa ya kupeleka mtoto wangu osi. Uko tu ndo nakuwa natafuta kukula na kukunywa.
Unfortunately, the situation got heftier with her last-born, who is now 4 years old, born blind and went unnoticed up until he was 2 months old. However, with their catchphrase Baba Saidia day and night, Rebecca, together with her mother, managed to save up 50,000 shillings and took the little one for eye surgery. And with her motherly instinct, Rebecca has studied her needy child and knows what each cry means.
Mamangu mwenye ameniza akasirago na umri yedi akamuku street donye anapata, tunajaribu kujifunga kukula na kukunywa to save tupate kupeleka umri wapi osi, tukampelekanga Osi Lions. Akaangaliwa tukamwambia mtoto ni kipofu aoni. Ule mwanaume kumwambia kuna support alitupe tu matajiri wa kupita hii Baba Saidia 10 mbao. Unaona hiyo 10 unapewa na yombo unapewa, unashukuru ule mtu. Reason muishukuru jio mbao 10 nilimekuisave mpaka kafika 50k mimi na mamangu mwenye ameniza. Tukapeleka umtoi surgery ya macho, akafanya operation. Sasa hivi venye tuko na hivi umtoi anaezalia au utajua shida yake, mimi ndio ndajua. Kuna saa anaezalia nimpe maji, huo mtoi huo ni amenyamaza. Hivi kwa analia njaa nimpe food na atulie. Mtu mwingine nikimwachia atona mtoto ni kisirani. Hata akuanalia umpe chakula si chakula nataka, maji. Mtoi wangu survive na maji.
But how does she and other mothers manage the little they collect in the streets?
Tuseme uko na panchi, sapa tumia so. Hiyo usiku ikifika uko na 500 kwa mfuko. Eka so ya breakfast kando asubuhi. Unabaki nao masiro so tatu. Hiyo so tatu sema utaiguza. Upati hata kani mali tu utapea mtu akuweke. Bado unasave. Sema umeka hiyo 300 umeamka asubuhi, the following day una hata bob. Itabidi ndo ambele mtu amekuwekea nipeka 100.
With COVID-19 making its way into the country and containment measures like social distancing and wearing of face masks being implemented across the country, it is never easy for these mothers.
Sasa hiyo ndio imekuwa hard. Dunaweza kuongelesha ule mtu kimuomba ataki stories zako juu labda ndani uko na corona juu na busy mask, labda uko tena mtu awape mask, uko na mbao uamue tu hiyo mbao ununu ukipata mali kuna maji unanawa tu ndio usikose kitu yenye utapewa watu wako. Imekuwa ngumu by the way juu kutoka COVID yangu ndio wamama wamejaa kwa hii street wengi na watu wadogo.
Wengi wana mask, ni wadogo tu wako na mask. Hata mtu anashindwa pesa ya kubai mask, ni lunch atabai mtoto ama ni mask atavaa.
As the streets get deserted due to the 9 p.m. curfew, Rebecca and her fellow women have shifted from the Jivanji Gardens to the verandas of Biashara Street.
Come rain, come shine, this is where these families call home, each night laying their heads here for a rest, all under the mercy of the heavens that break loose at will and without notice.
Just before they shut their eyes for the night, their beds in the form of cartons are laid on the concrete corridors, and the not-so-warm blankets make the utmost effort to keep them warm till morning.
Kabox kamoja unapata hawa masoja huko anakuuzia mbao. Hakuna soja atakupe box ati for free ama ile tu huruma. Kabox kamoja kinunua mbao tuseme uko na 50 bob. Unape ule soja angalau akupe tu box. Tenye mtoi wako atalala, hata finyo ni ile simiti ama mtoi wako atagonjeka. Una make sure mtoi wako umemvaa mangu. Ukishapata hizo mabox kabla hii masaa ya COVID ifike, unacha box zako umeziweka hapo, umepini mtoto wako mango za joto, vitu zako umepanga poa. Unarudi tu unachukua tu miguu, ukatafuta bado hata kani 50 na ile yenye umepata hata kani so adisie ujue kenye mtoi wako atakula hata kani hizi chaizi upita huko. Unapea mtoto wako asikusumbue usiku, hivyo ndio tu survive.
But just before retiring to bed, well-wishers like David Githiomi and Grace Mwende get to be a helping hand offering them bread and milk, a moment akin to angels sent from heaven. Grace, a single mother, alludes that she relates to the situation the mothers are in and could not resist to be a source of joy to them.
We started with this last month. We said we'll be doing it maybe on a monthly basis. We just give what we can and try and help them out, get to know them also. Yeah, and just make them feel like there's still love out there and they also matter and this is not for long.
Juliana Anjura could not hide her joy after receiving the goodies.
Nimesikia poa venye watu wamekuja wametuletea mkate. Sometimes saa zingine mtu ana do haujui kenye utakula. Si unaona maisha yenye tunakaa huku ni ya kubahatisha. Sasa tukiona mtu kama ametuletea mkate, yenyewe tunashukuringi, tunasema tu hata watu wenye wako tu na kitu wanaweza tusaidia nayo, wazidi tu kuwa na hiyo moyo wake. Wenye wamekaa poa wajue kuna wenye wamekaa mbaya.
Rebecca's wish is that one day a helper will come her way and rescue her and her kids, a move that will change her life for the better because she understands that money does not fall straight from heaven into human hands.
Unaenda kuomba huyu mtu na pia ukimuomba si pia amekaa pesa ikanyesha. Kuna mali ametoka kutafu na amework hard. Mbona usiwork hard?
Indeed, motherhood in the streets amidst the COVID-19 pandemic is a scare to many. But shockingly, a courageous lot still holds on to the situation, hoping for a better tomorrow. Reporting for TV47 from Nairobi City Center, my name is Nanok Lauren.
Thank you for that report, Nanok Loren. Now, the level of optimism in the country has dropped by 10% from 75% in 2015 to 65% this year. Now, this is according to a research conducted by Infotruck Research Company, which shows city dwellers as the least optimistic. City dwellers are the least optimistic according to the research.
In terms of our findings from the optimism index, a few things stand out. One, Kenyans are not as optimistic as they were 5 years ago. Overall, the index has gone down by about 10% from 75.5% in 2015 to 65.1% currently. Notably, only 1 out of the 47 counties has had a positive increase in its optimism, and that is Uasin Gishu, where the index increased by 6% from 64.7% in 2015 to 70.7% in 2020. All other counties had a reduction in their optimism levels.
Now, bodies of 2 boys who went missing in Goirobi area in Deya, Kiambu County have been found this morning. Now, the bodies of the Gio Primary School's Class 7 Kelvin Kamau and Martin Njehu, who's a Class 5 pupil at Kiawanda Primary School, were found in a dam in the area. Area Chief Eric Gitau says the boys had gone to take care of their parents' cows when the incident occurred. This comes days after a similar incident in Limuru, where 2 bodies of 2 boys were found at Manguo Swamp.
Walikuwa wanaogelea kwa sababu nguo zilikuwa kando juu ya hiyo dam. Kwa hivyo ni jambo walikuwa, hata ni jambo wanaonekana kama walikuwa wanafanyanga mara mingi. Sababu tunaona ile kazi muhimu wa walimu wanakuanga wanafanya wakiwa shule. Na kwa sababu tuko katika janga hili, ningewauliza wazazi sasa hilo pengo waijaze. Watoto wako mikononi mwetu. Wote wako mikononi mwetu.
They are going for grazing, and that is when now they get the opportunity to go to the dams, and they do adventure. They go for swimming. These 2 boys, Kamau and Jeho, have drowned when they were swimming. So parents, we should talk to our children. We should monitor our children so that they do not go to the dams, to the swamps for swimming. It is risky. It is taking away lives of children. It is painful, very painful.
Many thanks for staying with us here on TV47 Spotlight. Remember, you can also talk to us, give us your views on the stories we have tonight on Twitter at TV47K, or my handle at _Mumbichege, or Facebook TV47 Kenya. Now, Embu residents are set to face water rationing in the months of September, October and November. Mwege William reports from Embu County.
Residents of Embu County have been warned to brace for tough times as Water Provincial Company is to undertake water rationing within the months of August, September and October.
Zetu kwa mto itakuwa kidogo, kwa hivyo sana sana tutakuwa tunafanya ile tunaita rationing, na wakati ya kufanya rationing watu wajaribu wakuwe na storage tanks so that at least tukifanya rationing ile maji wakati imefika mara 2 ama mara 3 kwa wiki mweke maji pale kwa matangi.
Meanwhile, Embu Water and Sanitation Company has warned Muguka farmers of vandalism and illegal water connections to irrigate the stimulant. According to Dixon Jiru, the head of finance at Ewasco, the company has been losing at least 40 million Kenya shillings annually to vandalism and illegal connections by farmers to water Muguka plants.
Kuna watu ambao wakati wa kiangazi watakuwa wananyunyizia maji yetu hiyo mera. Wengine wanatoboa. Water Act 2016 is very clear. A penalty of 400,000 na pia ufungwe njera miaka 3 kwenda zaidi.
Njiru further noted that the use of fake hardware materials for water connections by customers has led to the bursting of pipes that is also attributing to loss of water along the roads, leading to signing a partnership with local hardware's owner to sell genuine hardware materials.
Kakati yetu ni kwamba we maintain standard ya our pipes because richa na wizi wa maji pia we have substandard materials na maji yetu kuna pressure juu kabisa, kuna lot of burst. Kwa hivyo unakuta kwamba ukienda kwa barabara maji yamechanganyika kila pahali kwa sababu ya materials yetu.
Mwege William for TV47 Embu.
Thank you, Mwege William, for that report. Many thanks for staying with us here on TV47 Spotlight. Let's take another breather. We'll be back with much more in just a moment. Welcome back to TV47 Spotlight. Now, the Ministry of Public Service will reopen Huduma Center GPO in Nairobi tomorrow, months after its closure, alongside other Huduma centers in the country. However, in an effort to minimize traffic and time spent queuing for service, the ministry said Huduma Kenya will gradually be rolling out a service by appointment system. A statement released by the ministry, however, added that one will not need to book an appointment to be served in the other 4 Huduma centers in Nairobi. Yes, you can talk to us on Twitter at TV47KE and also on Facebook TV47 Kenya. Yes, let's see what we have for you. Now, Mijikenda Kaya elders want the government to honor heroes and heroines who played a major role in the freedom of the country from the British colonialists.
The Kifudu dance, the rituals, oaths and prayers marked the annual celebration of the Mekatilili Wamenza ceremony. The ceremony aims to celebrate the heroine for her effort to fight against the British colonial rule.
Kwa sababu leo ni siku kubwa, tunakumbuka siku ile mama Mekatilili alichapa kofi mzungu. Hapa mahali nimesimama, basi wacha umma wasikie mistari kuhusu mama Mekatilili. Mekatilili kuluta nguma.
But the elders here say it's unfortunate that renowned heroines such as the legendary Mekatilili Wamenza are yet to be honored fully by the government, despite the fact that she was among those who led in the rebellion against the colonial ruler.
Karibu kuwasihi viongozi wetu wa nchi ya Kenya wajue ya kwamba pale maofisini ambapo wako sasa ni kwa sababu ya juhudi ambazo zilifanywa na mama Mekatilili Wamenza na mashujaa wa ukombozi wa Mau Mau. Kwa hivyo ningeomba hawa waweze kutambuliwa sawa sawa, na zile sehemu ambazo wengi wamezikwa ziweze kutambuliwa na kuwekwa makavazi na kuheshimiwa kama vile sisi tunaheshimu katika hii sehemu hii ya Mekatilili ya Shakahola.
Google last week recognized the heroine through a doodle, but the leaders have not recognized her to date. He further said leaders should not forget their history when in offices, driving luxurious vehicles and earning huge salaries.
Kituo ambacho kitakuwa kinawakumbusha vizazi vijavyo kwamba uhuru tuliopata hatukuupata kupewa mikononi. Wengine walipigania, wengine walikufa, wengine walitoa damu, na ndio sababu sasa watu wako maofisini, wako katika serikali.
The elders are in the process of acquiring a piece of land in the area where it is believed she was buried to set up a monument in her honor. Nanok Lauren, TV47.
Mitumba traders can now resume importation and sale of used textiles and shoes. This is after the Kenya Bureau of Standards (KEBS) lifted the ban imposed on Mitumba following the current COVID-19 pandemic. Dealers will, however, be forced to adhere to the guidelines issued by the government, as Nanok Loren reports.
Mitumba traders can now smile again after the Kenya Bureau of Standards announced the resumption of importation and sale of used textiles and shoes immediately. The move follows the development of protocols to enhance the protection and safety of traders and users while handling used textiles and shoes to avoid the spread of the disease. Managing Director Bella Njiraini said the new protocols will require all importers of the used textiles and shoes to register with the Bureau and identify the country of origin of the bale to enable traceability. KEBS further states that items must be cleaned and fumigated before baling. Each consignment must be packed in a clear and transparent and waterproof material, and used textiles sold in Kenya shall have a mass of kilograms that complies with the respective effective standard. Importation of used textile will be undertaken through designated ports of entry, and importers must register with the Kenya Bureau of Standards. Clearance of the imported bales will only be undertaken through the Kilindini Port and the Inland Container Depot, Nairobi. Earlier this week, Mitumba traders in Nakuru County were lamenting the halt of their businesses since importation was suspended.
Wale ambao hata walimu wa private ambao walivutwa kazi na corona, wote wamekuja kwa sekta ya mtumba. Wanakuja wananunua mitumba kwetu, wanaenda wanazungusha ndio wapate chakula yao ya kila siku. Now, what do you expect us to do if you don't want us to go back to our businesses? The government cannot employ us all in the office. So kindly, Mr. President, tusikize.
Earlier this week, Mitumba traders in Nakuru County were lamenting the halt of their businesses since importation was suspended. The government suspended the importation of Mitumba to prevent a surge of new infections of coronavirus. For TV47, I am Moige William.
Now, the Ministry of Public Service will reopen Huduma Center GPO in Nairobi tomorrow, months after its closure, alongside other Huduma centers in the country. Cases of minor defilement by Now, cases of minor defilement by adults have been on the rise in Murang'a County, leaving a mark behind as the lives of the victims change drastically after they go through the unspeakable act. However, Murang'a Women Representative Sabina Chege, together with FIDA, have started giving free legal services to aid these families seek justice.
The cases have been on the rise in the county, with many families now claiming that it is taking too long to get justice. With poverty as the main cause as to why they're unable to seek justice, Murang'a Women Representative Sabina Chege, together with FIDA, have come out to give some of these families free legal services to aid in the process. Sabina has called upon chiefs and parents to shun away from kangaroo courts that have contributed to the lack of justice to the young ones.
Wale wazee ama wazazi wanashikana kwenye vijiji na wanaanza kusort zile cases kwenye vijiji ambazo zinajulikana kama kangaroo courts. Hizo nimekataa, na ndio tumekuja na watu wa FIDA, kwa sababu watu wengi wanaenda ile option ya kangaroo courts kwa sababu wanaona wakienda kotini kesi itapotelea. Sasa FIDA wameshikana na sisi, na wakili hawalipishwi, na kutupatia wale mawakili na mzazi anapoa for free.
According to lawyer Wangoi Kamande, the law categorically illustrates penalties given to adults defiling minors, which can lead to life sentence or not less than 20 years in jail, according to the age bracket of the minor.
The younger the minor, the stiffer the penalty. If the minor is between 12 years and 15 years, then the perpetrator, upon conviction, will be liable to imprisonment for a period of not less than 20 years.
Nanok Lauren, TV47.
An Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i is tomorrow set to launch the Boda Boda Information Management System. Now, Boda Boda Association has opposed the system, claiming they were not involved.
So Boda Boda Association of Kenya has been really on the top of things to do with matters with operations and matters to do with Boda Boda doing their business. As we speak right now, most of the Boda Boda operators have been left out on this task force since its inception, since its formation. The task force has been sitting sitting pretty in their offices. And the CS intention of the CS was the task force, once it has been formed, it should go around the country and capture the information from the Boda Boda operators. Number one, Boda Boda operators need to know where they are doing the operations. Number two, the boda boda needs to know how we can reduce accidents on the road. The task force, since it was formed.
And Sunday schools have resumed today after the government reviewed the worship services protocols. However, Sunday school teachers say it's hard to control the kids. The Interfaith Council reviewed the protocols, allowing kids above 6 years to attend church services.
Sai naona niko na watoto 11 na kwa ajili ya majukumu yote yenye imepeana na serikali, sanitizer, kuoga mikono, kupaa maski. Tunawaangalia tu watoto, ni wale tu watoto wa kusahau. Unakaa unapata ametoa yote, lazima umwambie kwanza arudishe, wanarudisha. Uzuri ni wameshika vile unawaambia, wanashika, wametulia. Social distance kama Sunday school tumeweka viti zikiwa na difference, wametulia, wamekaa vizuri. Na tunaendelea kuomba Mungu atuwezeshe hata washike bila, kama ni mask bila kutoa, kama ni kunawa mikono wanawe mikono, wasanitize. Na tunaomba Mungu, tunashukuru kwanza kwa serikali kwa ajili ya kutupa hii nafasi. Tuko na watoto wa kuanzia miaka 6 kwenda juu.
At our homes for now it's 5 months. Now we are happy right now that the government of Kenya has released children.
And former Mathare United striker Kevin Oliech has passed on while undergoing treatment in Germany, according to the family spokesperson Nixon Oliech. The 33-year-old succumbed to cancer at a hospital in Germany. He was the young brother to former Harambee Stars duo of Dennis Oliech and Andrew Oyombe.